Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Moto Aftermath Show, Fantasy Supercross Edition here, coming down to the wire. We have 3 episodes of this left here. I'm your host, Travis. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to join our league here if you guys haven't already. As long as you've been playing PulpMX Fantasy there, you can join our league and win some year-end prizes or even a weekly prize here. We give away weekly prize to our weekly winners. We give away a year-end prize to our championship, including a number 1 plate, as well as signed Kevin Moran's jersey and a couple other things. So, yeah, make sure to go ahead and, like I said, join the league. It's the Moto Aftermath Show League there on PulpMX Fantasy, and yeah, you can be eligible there. So, before we get started, just want to thank our sponsors here: Complete Racing Solutions, TLR Coatings, Holster Co, Gutter Worx, Adept Creative Co, Isaac Nelson Designs, and Edgewood Farms. Links in the description down below. And thanks everyone for tuning in here. So we are going to wrap up the East Rutherford round here, our first Mutter of the year, and we are going to talk some picks for Nashville, where there's the possibility of some more weather. So I'm flying solo on this one. Cole is off training for his new job there at Kawasaki, for those of you who don't listen to the main show. And Justin has bowed out of the fantasy deal for the rest of this year. So comment down below if you guys want us to actually keep this show going. We came in firing hot on this, and now I'm kind of losing steam here as far as, like, we're going to do the same thing we did last year, which is we're going to take the summer off. The league will still be going. We'll still be playing fantasy, me and Cole, and I'm sure Justin will start playing again, fantasy for the outdoors, but we won't be doing a show for the outdoors. And when we come back to Supercross, we can bring this show back again. However, yeah, I'm just not sure how you guys feel about it. So, like I said, comment down below. Let us know how you feel, and yeah, we'll bring it back if that is what the fans want. So let's jump right into this. So results for East Rutherford here. Congratulations to RSV Rob 51. He scored 313 points. Won the league for the week there. In the 250 class, he had Carson Mumford, Levi Kitchen, Max Volin, and Dylan Schwartz. And in 450, he had Starling, Webb, Morans, and Hill. So that's a really good team there. Again, scored 313. So congratulations to RSV Rob 51. If you would like your weekly prize from the prize box, go ahead and DM us on Instagram there with your info, and we'll get you something out. Yeah, as far as the rest of us go here, I scored 247 points. Wasn't a terrible week for me. Wasn't great, but wasn't terrible. In the 250 class, I had Jet Lawrence get me 23, Max Volin get me 42, Tom Vial shot me in the foot with 26, and the real kick in the nuts is Joe Schmoda's not a mud guy. We've now, between Desnations in this race, figured out that Joe doesn't ride well in the mud. Only 12 points there for Joe. 450 class, slightly better. So I did have Kevin Moran's with the 52. I had Eli Tomac get me 26. Justin Hill, 32. So-so day. And Kate Clayson, 34. Again, so-so day. This isn't the worst round I've had this year, but it's not great. As far as the overall league goes here, let me just click this up. Let's see here. LL Reb leading the league here. 3405 for a points total, so that's really good. And in second place there, coming up hot, only, let's see, about 17 points out. And I get the joke here. You okay back there? So, let's see. Have I made it back to the first page yet? Probably not. Oh, Cole's in 23rd. He's not doing too bad here. Nope. Still have not made it back to the first page. Well, that's annoying. So, all right, let's move on here. So, going to Nashville. Again, possibility of some weather here. So we'll just have to see how that goes. With that in mind, I have kind of tried to no, I haven't. Let's face it. I'm hoping for a dry race here. So 250 class here. We're getting to the point of the season where it's getting a little rough to make picks because there's so much data. They've got they have the handicaps so dialed in that it's getting rough. So my 250 team here as of Friday morning. For my All-Star, I have Max Anstey at a 3. That's kind of a play of if it's muddy, he'll do well, and I think he's going to do well anyway because of coming off of that win last week. So that to me is a real safe All-Star pick here. As far as that goes, I have Michael Hicks. I just don't think he rode the mud well, so hopefully this week, like I said, it'll be dry. Luke Neese, he did make the main last week, even in the mud, so we'll see how this goes. He's got an 8 handicap, and Jace Owen, again, struggled in the mud last week, but I think we should be better this week, especially if it's dry. Looking through here, like I said, it's really, really hard at this point. So you have Chris Blows at a 5 for an All-Star. I think he would be an okay pick. Caden Braswell will probably be a good pick if he can make it in. AJ Catanzaro, I think, I mean, he'll make it from what I know so far of the season, and I may look at him later on this week too. Because he's a 9 handicap, so that's pretty good. We're getting a little handicap help there. Deegan's kind of a shot in the dark as far as an all-star because he finished so well last week there. So his handicap's only 2, which is getting down there because if he has any sort of issue, you could really be up a shit creek with him. Talon Hawkins is racing, but he scares me all the time, so I'm kind of going to stay away from him. Let's see here. So Hunter Lawrence at a -1 for an all-star I think is not a good pick. Number one, this is championship week for him, so he's going to be doing everything just to not basically die. So I would not go down that route there. Hardy Munoz not racing this weekend. Let's see here. Anybody else that really catches my eye? Joe Schmoda at a -4. Absolutely not. Like, a -4 is ridiculous. So, Cody Schock at a 3 might be okay, especially if it is dry. Jordan Smith, no. Thrasher's out. Tom Bial at a 0. I think Tom Bial's looking really, really major towards outdoors at this point. And Marshall Welton at a 6 is okay. We're getting a little handicap help because he didn't make the main last week. So that might be one to look at there. And that's pretty much all I see. You could get real sendy here after qualifying. There's a few guys that are kind of on the bubble there that have some higher handicaps that you could get real sendy with. But like I said, at this point in the season, you're kind of there's 2 ways to go about it. You're either playing it safe to kind of try to finish where you're at, or you are shooting for the stars. So, and I may get a little sendy here, depending upon looking at weather and things here coming up on Saturday. 450 class here. My all-star, I got Justin Barsha, 1 handicap coming off a win, and I mean, he is just podium guy right now, so I feel pretty safe with him. He's also another one that I feel safe. If it rains, we're good. I got Josh Cartwright, missed the main last week, 12 handicap, so that's really good. I think he's a shoe-in here this week, especially if the weather holds off. I got Josh Hill, he's a 6 handicap again. He didn't have a great race last weekend, so we're getting a little handicap help there with that 6. He's been really up towards that top 10 there on most weekends, so I think he'll bounce back. And then to wrap it up, I got Dean Wilson there with a 1 handicap. And again, I think as long as it's dry, he floats at this point right around that 8, 9, 10 range. So scrolling through here, looking at stuff, you get a little sendy with Benny, but I think his handicap's a little low. I don't think there's a whole lot of value there with that 4. Chiz at a 5 is okay. I just don't know. He's had such an up and down season. It's hard to tell. AC at a 7 for an all-star, super tasty. Like, I'm going to have to see what he looks like Saturday, but I know he did He did hit his head. That was why he didn't race on Saturday. So that's a little but I do know that he is coming to race this weekend. Cade Clayson at a 12. That's really good. He's right on my screen, but that is a good one there. Let's keep scrolling here. Grant Harlan at an 8. It's actually not bad. He's been floating around, say that 12 to 16 range. So like I could see him getting in there. Justin Hill at a 2. I just don't think has a ton of value because I don't see him pushing much into that top 10. Tristan Lane's a 14. He made his first main last week, but I don't know that he makes it this week because I think that, like I said, I think that was his first one. Shane with a 3 handicaps off the board for me. That handicap's real low because of his finish last week. Privateer Hero Kevin Moran's with a 7's getting a little like, there's not a whole lot of value there because on a normal race day, and again, last week was not normal. Last week we had the rain, and on top of that, we had AP and AC not there. They're both coming back to race, from what I understand. And he floats right between, say, that 16th to 19th place, so that's getting a little sketchy. Fast Freddy, I don't know about that either. Again, his handicap's low because his finish was pretty good last week. So. AP coming back again. He was hurt, didn't race last week, so take that for what it's worth. Who knows? Kenny at a 3, I think, is an okay pick there for an all-star. Ken's been floating right around that podium too, and you've got some wiggle room there, so I think that's okay. Sexton at a 1, I would definitely stay away from. You could ride some lightning with John Short in a 16 because he basically figures out every way not to make it, but maybe this is the week he figures out how to make it. Who knows? Let's see here. Cooper Webb at a 3. Yeah. I'm not loving it. His finishes haven't been great. I think his last 3 finishes have been like 4.45 or 5.44 or something like that. So, yeah, like I said, it's just that time of year where it's getting really, really tough here to get these picks and really hit something. You gotta basically be more lucky than good at this point in the year. So, comment down below what your team is for this weekend. Comment down below if you guys want us to keep this going next year, because we're kind of up in the air with it at this point. So thanks. That's basically going to be it for the show here. Like I said, sorry, flying solo. Cole's new work schedule. Hopefully he'll be back next week to do the last couple with me. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks to our sponsors, Complete Racing Solutions, TLR Coatings, Holster Co, Gutter Worx, Adept Creative Co, Isaac Nelson Designs, and Edgewood Farms. And we'll be back next week with another fantasy show. Later.